welcome to our Yoga and Pilates Fusion class for this week. So we'll start sitting up nice and tall, legs crossed or wherever you're comfortable, and maybe just take a little bit of a swaying circular movement in one direction just to help loosen up the hips and the lower back, and then changing direction, just loosening things up a little, and then coming to the centre. Okay, we'll just close your eyes for a moment here and just think about lifting up from the crown of the head, relaxing your shoulders down, lifting the chest, and starting to engage those core muscles, so feeling that pull in and up, lifting up, keeping you nice and upright and supported. Take some slow, deep breaths. Visualize the spine becoming longer and stronger. And then opening your eyes again. Stretch your fingers out to the side and just walk them as far away from you as you can without sinking down. So think about staying really tall through the spine and just allowing the shoulders to drop down even further in this position. You'll stretch down the sides of the neck perhaps. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up, look up to your thumbs. And exhale, arms down, looking down but keeping the spine long. And again, deep breath in, reaching up. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, we're going to dive forwards and reach your hands further and further away from you. Maybe add a little sway from side to side. So a nice stretch for the lower back, the pelvis, and around the hip area. And then engaging the core tightly, you're going to lift all the way up again. Deep breath in at the top, and then exhale, circle the arms down behind you, lean back into your hands, and lift the chest, look up, and take a deep breath in, lifting the chest higher and higher, arching the back. And exhale back to the centre. Lovely. Now we're going to try crossing the legs the other way, which is probably going to be a little less comfortable. But it's going to help balance out the hips a little bit. So again, a little bit of swaying around, see how that feels. And then sitting up tall, extend the arms away. Deep breath in, lifting up. And exhale, reach forwards. Swaying from side to side, stretching the hands further away from you, dropping the head down. Feel that lovely stretch down the spine. And again, engaging the core. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, circle the arms down and back. And lift the chest. Now if you're comfortable here, try taking the knees to touch the floor and the hips lifting a little higher. And just release your head back. So lift the hips higher and higher. Deep breath in at the top. And exhale, releasing back down. Well done. Now just stretch the legs forward. You can lean back for a moment here, just relax. Give the feet a bit of a shake out the knees. Maybe just circle the ankles a couple of times each way. And then we're going to bring the feet together, flexing the feet and start to sit up a little bit taller. So you're starting to engage those core muscles again here. Take a deep breath in and stretch up. And then exhale, fold forwards. In breath, we're lifting up again. And as you exhale now, we're going to gently tilt backwards, bringing the arms forward and squeezing your legs in towards each other. It's going to help keep them down. So just go as low as you can. Next in breath, we're going to reach all the way up again. So lots of work in the core and the abdominals. Exhale, fold forward, stretching the back of the body. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, tilting gently backwards as if you're sitting in a low deck chair, without collapsing all the way down. Let's go through that a couple more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, leaning back. Let's try it one last time. Inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, tilt back. Well done, back up to the centre. Release the arms and swing the legs behind you. We're going to come to all fours. So spread the fingers wide, knees under hips, Hands under shoulders, shake out the ankles, and then stretch the toes back. Inhale as you arch, looking up, lifting the tailbone. Exhale as you round the spine, looking towards your navel. Try this a few times. Again, lots of mobility through the spine. And then just start to sway forwards and back, or twisting to side, moving around in any direction that you feel your body needs. So just take note of whether there's any differences on one side to the other, whether your lower back is tight or whether your shoulders are feeling something. And just rearrange your body to help stretch out in those places that need it the most. Okay, now we're going to come back to the centre and find our neutral spine alignment. So if you think about the crown of the head drawing forwards and the tailbone drawing back, that's going to help just align our natural curves of the spine in between those 2 points. Hold it nice and steady. We're lifting one hand off the floor and rotating the wrist. Wiggle the fingers and place that hand back down. And the other side. So try to avoid swaying too much from side to side as you transfer weight there. So keeping the core strong, keeping the pelvis steady, shoulders steady, and hand back down. Okay, now we're just going to stretch your right arm forwards as if you're shaking hands, and then stretch your left leg behind and try and get a nice straight line through the body. Again, trying to avoid any extra movements. Take a deep breath or two. And then back to the centre. And the other side, so the left arm and the right leg, so it's opposite sides, extending away, so you've got a little bit of support from that hand and that knee in contact with the mat. And bring it back. Let's try it again on each side, adding in an extra variation this time. So we're going to bend the knee and then reach back with your hand. See if you can find your foot. So don't worry if you can't quite find it, but give it a go. And if you can find it, you can try lifting that foot higher and higher, and lifting your chest, lifting your head, making more of an arch position in the spine. Still working on your balance. Well done, back to all fours. Neutral position, and then the final side. Left arm, right leg extending away. When you're stable, try bending that knee, reaching the arm behind you, finding the foot if you can, and then maybe lifting it higher and higher. So you're going to get a strong stretch on the front of the thigh, maybe the front of the hip. Looking forwards if you can, lifting that foot higher and higher. Well done, slowly release. Back to neutral position. I'm just going to take the knees a little bit wider, big toes touching. Sit back onto your heels and then start to stretch your hands further forward. Release your head down. Take a few breaths here. And just looking towards your hands now, walk them across to the right. Release your head back down. Think about dropping that left shoulder a little lower here if you can. Nice deep stretch down the left side of the body. Back to the centre and over to the left side now. Just stretch the hands away, release your head down, drop that right side down a little lower if it will go. Enjoy that stretch down the right side of the body. And we'll come back to the centre and then lift up. Level the knees again, tuck the toes under. So our hands are slightly further forward than the shoulders here. We're going to lift the knees, lift the hips up and find our downward dog position. So start gently, you can just walk on the spot. Nice deep stretch down the back of the legs here. And think about bringing the weight back as much as you can into the heels, taking those hips back. That's going to help protect the wrists as well with a little less weight through the hands. Lots of strength work through the upper body there. So shoulders, arms, back, all working hard to support you. As one heel goes back, you're not going to try rolling over the top of the other foot. Just lightly stretching through the front of the ankle and the shin area, maybe. See how that feels. Try it again on each foot. If you find it really hard to get the heels down, You may want to bring your feet in just slightly closer. You'll find that will help get the heels down. If the heels are easily reaching the floor, you can try taking the feet a little further back, and that might give you more of a stretch down the legs, a bit more of a challenge. But slowly hover forwards to planks and rounding your way through, and then straightening into a neutral position. Again, crown of the head forward, tailbone joint backwards, everything in alignment in the center. And then lift those hips back up again, so push through with your hands, draw the weight back into the heels, let the crown of the head drop down. Take a deep breath, and then we'll try that again. If you need to drop the knees before now, that's fine. Arms might be getting tired. And if you can manage to stay on the hands for a little longer, from your plank position we can try an upward dog variation by dropping the hips, lifting the chest, starting to look up a little. See how that feels. So we're keeping the toes tucked under on this variation. And slowly all the way back. Lots of work through the core there. Well done. Now we just walk the feet into your hands. Maybe try keeping the legs straight for as long as you can. It's going to give you a really strong stretch down the back of the legs. Bend them when you need to. Bend them when you get there, and just allow the whole body to hang loosely now. Add a little sway from side to side. Shake out the shoulders, shake out the head. Maybe move the wrists around a little bit more. See what you feel you need. And then keeping a slight bend in the knees, tummy pulled in, we're going to roll back up to standing. Gently one vertebra at a time. Head comes up last. And then we're going to reach up with the arms. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, deep squat, sweeping through. Inhale, reach up. And again, exhale, dropping down. Inhale, up. We'll try that twice more. Nice and strong exhalation as you sweep through. Last one. As you come up this time, we're going to try to balance on the toes and take the arms a little wider. Squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. Lift the chest, look up, maybe take a little bit of a back bend. Finding that balancing point. Lifting with the chest, lifting high on the toes, and then slowly release heels and arms down. Give everything a bit of a shake out. Well done. I'm going to try some sun salutations. So starting with the feet together at the top of the mat. Spread the toes wide, give it a wiggle, and then root them firmly down. Take a deep breath in, reach up with the arms, and exhale, fold down. Hands to the floor, step back with the right leg as you inhale. Exhale the left leg, and hold your plank. So make sure the hands are spread wide, and again we're looking for that straight line through the body. Be careful not to allow your hips to drop or lift too much. And then we'll lower the knees, gently release your body down. Point the toes back, inhale up into cobra, exhale release down. Let's try that one more time. Inhale as you lift and lengthen the spine, keep those elbows tucking in and the shoulders down. Well done. We'll push up to downward dog now. Take your time to roll into position. Stretch out the legs. Move around any way you need to. And on your next in-breath, step your right foot forward. Exhale the left, feet together. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, push all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands down to your chest. Next side, inhale up. And exhale, fold. Inhale the left leg back. Exhale the right. And hold that plank. So if you need to, just lower the knees down. You can still keep the body in a nice straight line. Working on the alignment, just a little less weight. One more breath if you can. Well done. Lower the knees, dip the body down. Think about the chin and chest just tucking down first if you can. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, rolling back to downward dog. Make it nice and smooth. Stretch out again into your downward dog. Hopefully it's becoming more and more comfortable. And then on the next in-breath, take your left leg forward. Think about lifting the chest, looking forwards. Exhale, step in and fold. Tightening over the legs and a little bend as you push up, lifting the chest, lifting the arms. And exhale, arms down. Well done. On to our next round. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, left. Find that plank. And then travel your plank forwards and back. So you're taking more weight through the upper body. And go onto the tips of the toes and then drawing those heels back again. Without the hips lifting or lowering, so keeping everything steady. Stay forward and tuck those elbows in as you try to lower with the knees up for as long as you can. Inhale, lift up, maybe a little higher to upward dog if you feel comfortable with that on your back. And then downward dog as you exhale. So just take a couple of deep breaths here, stretching out. And again, remembering to draw the weight as far back as you can. Head just hanging loosely. Nice and comfortable position for the neck. On the next in-breath, take the right foot forward. Exhale the left. Inhale, lift. And exhale, arms down. Onto the left side. Now inhale up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, right. Find your plank. Once you're stable there, shift the weight forward and back a couple of times. Stay on the tips of the toes, try to hover down. So we're trying to get the elbows to right angles in this position. And then lifting up, so if we're coming to your upward dog, again the weight is dragging forwards as much as you can. And then reversing that into downward dog, dragging the weight back. Deep breath. Remember to keep those fingers spread wide, so you're using the whole of the hands, not just the wrists. We'll inhale the left leg forward. Exhale the right. Inhale, push all the way up. Exhale, arms down. Final round to go. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, left. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog or possibly child's pose if you need to. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms down. And the final side. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, right. Inhale, come forward in plank. And exhale, dip down. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, right. Inhale, chair. Sorry, not chair yet. We're doing that on the next round. Lifting all the way up and exhale, arms down. Well done. Just take a moment to recover. Maybe shake out the wrists, shake out the legs. So we're going to take things a little bit deeper now when you're ready. Okay, so back into mountain. Take a deep breath in as you lift up, and this time we're going to take a little bit of a back bend, so looking towards your thumbs, lifting the chest, squeezing your navel in towards your spine, lengthening the spine as you tilt gently backwards. Well done, and then slowly fold down on the next out breath. And again, taking this move just a little bit deeper, staying here for a little longer as you fold in over your legs. Now if you want to hold on to your legs, if you need to do that in order to keep them straight, then that's fine. If you can actually reach the floor and still keep the legs straight, then you can play around with that position. You may like to hold behind your ankles, or you can just hook your fingers under your toes. Maybe work on getting the whole of the hands underneath the feet. Lots of different variations you can try. It's all about just folding your body in close to your legs. One more deep breath here. And then slowly release. We just hold a little higher onto the shins now. Take a deep breath in as you extend forward. Nice flat back position. Exhale, releasing all the way down. And then bend the knees so you can get your hands to the floor, either side of your feet. And get ready for a little springing action into plank, or if you prefer, just walk the feet back. Come forward and dip down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, downward dog. Just going to lift up onto the toes. And then roll back through to the heels. Try inhaling as you lift right up onto the toes. Exhale back down. See if you can maybe lift the toes as the heels come down. Try it one more time through. Inhale, lift, get the hips nice and high. Exhale, draw the heels down. Now one more time up onto the toes. This time we're going to bend the knees, look to your hands. And as you exhale, try springing lightly to the hands. So this is where our chair comes into it. So squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other. Keep a nice strong bend in the knees as you lift your arms, lift your chest. And think about a sort of lightning bolt position with your body, a zigzag. One more breath here if you can. Lots of work in the legs and the back. When you're ready to push up, straighten the legs, release the arms. Well done. Release everything where you need to. And we're coming to our next round. Following that pattern, just adding on as we go now. So deep breath in, lifting up and back. And exhale, dive down. Hands to the floor. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, spring or walk to plank. Come forward on the toes and exhale down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, downward dog. Nice deep breaths here. Now we're going to try lifting the right leg up high, pointing the toes away, and then drawing a little circle in one direction with that leg, and then change direction. Now you can either stick with circles, or you can try making a figure of 8, making the movements a little bit bigger, or just moving the leg in any direction really. So it's just about challenging the rest of the body to stay still as that leg circles around, makes those different shapes. Now we're going to keep the leg lifted, see if you can lift up onto the left toes, and that right leg will go higher and higher. Keep it there as you lower the heel down, if at all possible. Oh, well done. Bring that foot back down, so back to our downward dog. Now we're going to bring your left hand across towards the right foot, or to the leg rather, and then start lowering the hand down the leg if you can towards the ankle, just to wherever you can get to, and then maybe look underneath your right arm. So there's a lot of strength in that right arm that's supporting you. Now if you find it really hard to balance there, try bringing the feet in a little closer and you can bend the knees. So there's always some position that you can manage. Another option is just to come down onto the knees and try threading the needle instead. So it's a similar sort of twist in the body, but this is much more intense from downward dog. One more breath if you can. And back to the centre. Hover forwards into plank. And lower. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. Take a deep breath and then we'll move on to the left side. So just kick that leg up high, point the toes. Start with a small circle, one way, change direction. So see how that feels. If you want to make those moves bigger, you can try a figure of 8. Again, changing direction. Every now and again, just making big sweeping movements with that leg, trying to keep the rest of your body steady. Let's keep that leg nice and high now. Hold it there. Lift up onto the right toes. And then slowly lower that heel back down again, keeping the left leg as high as you can. Well done. Release the leg slowly down. Just back to your downward dog. And now we're bringing the right hand across towards the left leg. Just hold wherever you can reach. Maybe you can try bringing those feet in a little closer if you prefer. And then maybe turn to look under your left arm. A lot of strength in that arm. There's a strong twist for the spine. Our gentler option is on the knees. Threading the arm through from that position. So remember your options if you need them. Last deep breath here. Well done. Back to your downward dog. And hover forwards to plank. Lower gently down. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. You're going to lift up onto the toes. Bend the knees, look to your hands, lightly spring, or walk forward. Bend the knees deeply, find your chair pose. And back to mountain. Good work. Just a moment to release. So shake out anything you need to realign, readjust, and feel ready for our next round. I'm going to face this way for a change. So feet are together, standing tall. Deep breath in, lifting up and back, and then exhale, fold down. Hands to the floor, inhale, look forward, and exhale, sprint or walk to plank. Come forward and lower. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. Breathing deeply here. Now we're going to lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, tuck it in and step between your hands. We're going to lower that left heel slowly down and in, and then push our way up to warrior one. Reach up with your arms, take a deep bend into that right knee, and think about bringing that left side forward so the hips and shoulders are all facing forward. You can look up to the hands, nice strong lunge position, trying to get the outer edge of that left foot rooted down firmly. Now we're going to open the arms out wide and slowly fold forwards over that right thigh, so hugging the thigh, nose towards your knee, and then push all the way up again to help strengthen the legs and also in the back. As you reach up and lean back, look up. And again, exhale, folding over the leg. Inhale, push up. Now we're going to fold over one more time. Try a little balance from here. So holding onto that thigh, start to hop your left leg in a little, and then see if you can maybe lift that leg off the floor and lift it high. Now if you need to hold onto the floor, that's going to help with your stability. You might want to keep the knee bent, or you could possibly try and straighten it a little. See how that feels. So use the weight of your head to help find that balancing point. When you're done, slowly lower that foot back down and come back to downward dog. Very nice. And come back to plank. Lower gently down. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, we'll try this on the left side now. So lift the left leg high. Bend the knee, tuck in and step through. We're lowering that right heel down in and then pushing up to our warrior one position. So bring that right side forward, deepening that left knee bend. Look up, bring the hands together, stretch them higher. Hold it here for a breath or two. Constant little adjustments to your position. Really working those muscles hard. Now we're going to open the arms wide, slowly fold over that thigh, nose towards your knee, and then push all the way up again. Press into the feet, lift up strongly, and again, exhale, folding down. Inhale, push up. Final time, folding over the leg. Now coming to our balance, start to hop the right foot in a little. See if you can find that balancing point. Lifting the leg up. Maybe holding onto the floor if that helps you. Maybe trying to straighten the leg a little if you're comfortable with that. And just look slightly forward of your foot, and that should help give you your balance, using the head as a sort of counterbalance for the leg. When you're done, slowly step that foot back and then step back again to downward dog. Take a breath here and then hover forwards to plank and dip down. Inhale, scoop up and exhale, downward dog. Inhale, up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, spring forward. Keep that knee bend as you lift up into chair pose. Hold it there. And then straighten up to mountain. Well done. Shake it all out again. Great. Okay. Let's try another round. I'm going to face this way again now. So always starting at the top of the mat. Deep breath in, up and back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, spring. Come forward and dip down. Inhale, lift. And exhale to downward dog. Now, a little balance again here is required, but we have got options, so don't worry. It's quite a tough one to try this. We're going to lift the right leg up and then bend that knee. And at some point we're going to try and bring the left hand to touch that right foot. So if you start by just coming onto the fingertips of that left hand and slide the hand down a little bit, maybe under the shoulder or the direction of the foot, and just attempt to lift the hand off the floor and see if you can find a balancing point from there. So if you can manage to balance there, you can try reaching that arm back and see if you can find the foot. So very similar position to what we did earlier on the knees, which I'll just show you a quick demo of now as well. So if you prefer, pop that knee down, you can try this position instead. But even if you don't quite get to the foot, it's always fun to try, and there's lots of muscles working hard just in that attempt, so without even getting there, it's still good work. So when you're done, slowly step that foot back down to your downward dog, come forwards to plank and lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, downward dog. Let's see how we get on with the other side. So left leg lifts, we're bending that knee, now that leg stays where it is, and just lift the right hand off the floor. So you're just on the fingertips, you're using less of that hand to support you. Start bringing the hand down and out a little way, maybe just under the shoulder, and see from there if you can start lifting it off the floor and keep your balance. And if you can, again you might want to attempt reaching that arm up. Maybe you can find the foot. It might not be for long. It's fun trying. And there's always that option of putting the knee down if you want to. And the same position, the same stretch happens there. Just a little bit more balanced. So when you finish your attempts at that one, we'll take the foot back down again. Always good to try. And then come forwards to plank. And dip down. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, up on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands and spring forward. Coming into chair pose. And mountain. Lovely. Again, shake anything out that you need to. We're going to try standing balance. So we've done a little bit of stretching of the thighs in that last posture. We're going to take that further now, coming to dancer pose. So we'll face sideways again for this. We're going to start by lifting your right knee up and then hold on to the ankle with the right hand. Slide the leg behind you. We'll start with a standard quad stretch. So if you bring your heel to your bottom and stretch that knee a little further back, play around with that and see if you can feel a good stretch on the front of the thigh. And then we're going to lift up with that left arm, and now we'll try flexing that right foot and holding around the ankle so you've got a good grip on there. We're going to start kicking that foot higher and higher behind you, up to the ceiling, and leaning gently forward, but still looking forward, keeping the chest lifted. Well done. So get lots of strength in that standing leg. And then slowly come back up. Now before we place that foot back down, see if you can manage to balance a little bit longer. Tuck the knee in. Maybe we can get that nose to touch the knee. Just for a moment, it's a counter stretch for the back. And then release gently down. Back into mountain. Very nice. And we'll try the other side. So start by lifting the knee up. Hold around the ankle. Left hand onto the left ankle. Slide the leg behind you. So for a quad stretch, kicking our heel towards the bottom. And then stretching that knee a little further back. So the further back it goes, the deeper the stretch will be in the hip flexor there as well as the thigh. And then we'll reach up with that right arm, flex the foot, hold into the ankle, and then start kicking that foot behind you. Gently leaning forwards, keep looking forwards, holding that balance if you can. Use that big toe in contact with the floor to help with your stability. Arching the spine. Strong in the core, I say as I fall out of it, and then slowly come back And lift that knee up in front. Can we get your knee and nose towards each other? Gently release. Back into mountain. And then give everything a shake. Well done. Now we'll separate the feet slightly. Just going to do a little roll down. Come back down to the floor now. So drop the head, soften the knees. Rolling smoothly down, stretching the back. And then bend the knees and we'll come down to the floor. So we'll start with the feet to one side. And we're going to reach up with one arm and then lean over to the side where the feet are. So this is going to help get a deeper stretch all the way down that side of the body because the pelvis is already starting on an angle. So we've got a really good stretch down the side of the body here. Well done, release. And we'll swing the feet the other way. So sitting up tall, lift the arm up and over towards the feet. Maybe add a little bit of movement if you find that helps. Nice deep stretch down the side of the body. One more deep breath here. And release. Now we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Put the feet in. Nice upright position. Start to squeeze forwards a little. So tilting forwards from the lower back if you can. So we're getting a stretch on the inner thighs and then in the lower back area. And then we're going to try taking the legs out wide. So it's a similar stretch with the legs straight, managing to get a little bit more of a stretch on the inside of the knees as well. And just start by swaying lightly from one leg to the other. Just take your time, see how it feels. Notice if there's one side that's tighter than the other. And each time you reach across, it may start to loosen up a little more. Become a little bit more comfortable. And once you've reached to each leg individually, we'll try reaching forwards. So we've got an even stretch through both inner thighs. Maybe walking the hands in front of you. If you find it really hard to keep the body leaning forward, you can try pushing your hands into the floor behind you for a little bit of extra support. And you might find that gives you a stronger stretch, or even though you might not feel that you're leaning as far forward, it might be more effective for you. So just see how that feels. Just another breath or two. Any little movements that help you. As long as it's all gentle, it's not going to be very effective for you. Any really jarring, fast movements that we don't want to be doing in stretches and create too much tension in the muscles. Okay, when you're ready, slowly lift your way up again. I'll just hook behind the knees and give the legs a squeeze. And then lie down onto your back. So make sure your head is comfortably rested on the floor, arms down by your sides, and the knees bent, feet under the hips. We'll just tilt the pelvis slightly forwards and back. And then find your neutral position. So the core is really engaged here to hold your spine in place. We're going to lift one foot up to the ceiling. And then lift the other one as well. Keep the feet in together. Keep the core nice and strong. Okay, now we're going to slowly lower one leg down. Keep it straight if you can. And just take it as low as you can without it touching the floor. And then slowly bring it back again. And you'll feel the core is really working to keep your back in position. Let's try the other side. So if you feel that your back is starting to lift off the floor, it means that you've gone a little bit too far. We want to make sure that we've got the strength in the core to keep that strong position. So if you're not sure, the safe way to do this is to sit on your hands slightly, and that way it's impossible for your back to arch off the floor anyway. So it's a little easier, but it's safer if you do have any back issues. If you're okay, you might not need the hands to be there. A little bit more of a challenge. Another option is to do this with the knees bent. And that's slightly less weight to support of the legs. You might find that more manageable. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, just for 1 or 2 more goes, we can try both legs together. So this is definitely worth sitting on the edges of your hands for, because it's a lot harder with both legs. Unless you're very strong in the core, it's going to be a very strong challenge. Let's try that one more time if you can. Just rest anytime you need to. If you're not tired yet, carry on. I expect that will be enough. So when you're done, you can just hug the knees in. Have a little sway from side to side. Let everything relax. And now just take your left foot to the floor and straighten the right leg up. Hold onto that leg. Come into a hamstring stretch here. Take a nice deep breath. Maybe draw that leg in a little closer as you exhale. And then we're going to bend that knee and take the foot over the left thigh. The knee can rotate out a little. And then lift your head and shoulders, and you can reach over your left thigh and then release your head back down, drawing the legs in with you. So it should give you a stretch across the outer edge of that right hip. If you feel you can take it further still, lift up again and try holding around the shin. One more deep breath here. Slowly release when you're done. Both feet back down, and then we'll stretch the left leg up. Okay, just while ground for it's comfortable behind the leg. And start drawing that leg slowly in towards you. Nice deep breaths as you go. Maybe the leg can release more in each out breath. And then we'll bend that knee, take the foot over the right thigh. Turn that knee out a little, maybe flex the foot as well. Lift up, hold on to the right thigh, and then release your head back down, drawing those legs in a little closer to your body as you go. Maybe again, lift a little higher and hold around the shin, see if that stretch is possible for you. Feeling it all around this hip and the glute area. Make sure your head and neck are comfortable where you are. And release. Well done. I'm just going to roll over onto one side, roll onto the left, and make it easier if we're doing the same thing. So, knees are together, take your arms out at shoulder level. So if you're on your left side, your right hand is free. We're going to lift that arm up, take a breath in as it lifts. And exhale, release it down behind your back, looking towards the hand all the way through. So inhale as you lift it up again. And exhale, bring the hands back in together. I'm going to try that twice more on this side. So inhale, lift. Exhale, release back. So try and make sure your head is comfortably rested on the floor the whole time. Try to look towards that hand, moving with each breath. Good. Final time from this side. Inhaling up, exhale, releasing all the way back as low as you can get that arm. Keep the knees in together, keep the hips facing the side. Inhale it back up. Exhale, hands in together. Well done. We're going to turn onto the other side now. I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Lying on your right, knees at right angles, arms at shoulder level. Those knees in together. Inhale as you lift that arm up, looking towards the hand. And exhale, release it right the way back behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands back in. So your head is rolling lightly from side to side, so there's a nice stretch in the neck as well as the spine. And again, inhale up. Exhale, release that arm right the way back. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, hands in. So try not to let the lower body move. The knees stay together, the pelvis stays in line so the hips are facing the right side. Exhale that arm right the way back behind you. Open the chest, open the shoulder, Inhale it up again. Exhale, hands together. And when you're ready, we'll just roll onto your back and relax. I think I'm going to add my layers for a moment. If you're feeling cooler now, it's starting to get chilly outside, you might want to layer up relaxation. And we're just lying down on your back or wherever you're most comfortable. Trying to find a position where there's no tension in your body, so it might help just to have a little shake out of the hips, the shoulders, ankles, neck. So the lower back can sometimes feel tight when you're lying flat, so if you prefer, you can have a little bend in the knees, that might help lengthen the lower back, or just maybe just tilting the tailbone slightly is enough to stretch that out and feel comfortable. So just get to a position where you're most comfortable. You might want to close the eyes. Let's just try taking some deep breaths here. So because we're allowing the whole body to relax, you'll probably notice your abdomen rising and falling with each breath. As your body becomes still, you may find there's a longer pause at the end of each out breath before you need to take the next in breath. And just relax into that pause and the whole body be still and calm. Pause lasts as long as you feel comfortable. Wake up, just start to move your fingers and toes, just turn your head lightly from side to side, starting to open your eyes and focus around you again. Then gradually stretching out through your whole body, arms overhead, feet together, pointing the toes away, big, big stretch. Bend the knees and hold behind your thighs, lift the head and shoulders, and then start to rock forwards and back along your spine. Nice and smooth. You're going to massage your back. One more time, and then rock up to sitting. And again, maybe crossing the legs or sitting. Maybe you're comfortable. Well done. I'm just going to end with a nice deep breath. And lifting up, inhaling up, hands together. Exhale, arms down, looking down. Wonderful, well done. I hope you're feeling good for that, and see you again next week. Thank you.